time you finish watching this video, someone in your neighborhood will likely lose their entire life savings in just a 2-minute email exchange. Perhaps at this very moment, your father is typing a response to those lines saying, "Your inheritance is waiting for you." To most of us, these emails are nothing more than a joke, yet in 2024, they turned into a $16.6 billion wreckage. Yet, within this staggering figure, there is more than just money. Hidden, there are broken families, lost futures, and suicide notes written in silence. Today, we aren't going to talk about how they hack your computer, but how they hack the vulnerabilities in your soul. The Nigerian Prince isn't a product of the digital age. It's a ghost that has survived since the late 18th century, born in the Barcelona post office and known back then as the Spanish prisoner. The story was always the same. It usually began with a casual introduction. "I have a wealthy relative unjustly imprisoned in Spain. We only need a small sum to secure his release. Once he's free, you'll receive a generous share of his fortune." This was history's first example of personalized social engineering. The goal was simple: make a small favor feel like the gateway to immense wealth. Over time, the story mutated. The ghost adapted to each era's needs. In the 1860s, it appeared as soldiers fleeing the American Civil War. After the Russian Revolution of 1917, it resurfaced as exiled Romanov nobles, most famously Princess Anastasia. By the 1920s, as resistance to colonial rule grew in West Africa, fraudulent letters began targeting Europeans. These schemes evolved from miracle cures into tales of political exile. The senders portrayed themselves as war victims, dispossessed aristocrats, or unjustly imprisoned political figures. To them, the other side's innocence wasn't a flaw, it was an opportunity. This is where what we now call 419 fraud was born. The number 419 still refers to the section of the Nigerian Criminal Code that defines fraud. This system remained largely unchanged until the 1980s. When oil prices collapsed and Nigeria plunged into economic crisis, this ancient virus found a new host. A generation that was educated but unemployed used fax machines and later the internet to spread the same old trap across the world. This wasn't a technological revolution, it was human weakness, simply repositioning itself to match the headlines of each era. When the internet opened up to millions in the early 1990s, old scams suddenly found a new home. A borderless, fast, and almost free communication network. What could be called capital-free entrepreneurship for scammers replaced an older model, one that required paper, envelopes, and postage. At the dawn of the digital age, the cost of sending an email was effectively zero. For the first time in history, fraudsters could reach thousands of people at once. In West Africa, young men who turned this into a profession from internet cafes became known as Yahoo Boys. But this world wasn't just about laptops and connections. In the region, the crime merged with a cultural phenomenon known as Sakawa. Some scammers turned to voodoo rituals to weaken their victims' will, placing charms under their keyboards and believing these objects would help them deceive others. Whether these rituals actually worked was beside the point. No one was testing them. What mattered was the deal the scammer made with himself. As one Yahoo boy put it, "I didn't scam anyone today. Fate did the work." And what about those infamous grammatical mistakes and spelling errors? If you think they're a sign of incompetence, you're mistaken. They're a deliberate strategy, what could be called professional filtering. The errors functioned as bait, designed to screen out intelligent and skeptical people from the start. If you replied to that email, you were already classified as a high-yield target. The problem wasn't your intelligence. The problem was the moment you were asked to suspend rational thinking in exchange for the promise of an enormous reward. While you noticed the mistakes and thought, "I'd never fall for this," your ego was being reassured, and the system was already working on you. When the human brain perceives a large reward, cognitive control takes a back seat. Dopamine floods the system and amplifies a single thought. What if it's actually real? That's why even highly intelligent people fall for these schemes. It's not about IQ. It's about the chemical processes triggered during emotional moments. Scammers intentionally isolate their victims, urging them to tell no one, effectively shutting down social reality checks. Over time, the victim begins to believe the relationship is real. Then comes a small payment, and with it, a psychological threshold. One of behavioral economics' most brutal concepts kicks in: the sunk cost fallacy. The more people lose, the more they invest to recover that loss. Just one more payment to get my money back, then I'll stop. This loop keeps the victim trapped even when they're just about to walk away. Now let's break the biggest illusion of all. The word Nigerian in the phrase Nigerian Prince is no longer a geographical reality, it's a brand name. According to FBI data, the majority of these cases are carried out either by local perpetrators or by actors in entirely different countries using Nigeria as a mask. The name itself is a perfect lure, designed to trigger the victim's sense of superiority. But in 2024 to 2025, this model has evolved into its most lethal form yet. What we're facing now is industrialized fraud. Once, a scammer worked alone from a home computer. Today, there are offices with hundreds of employees, shift schedules, and CRM systems that track victims like inventory. In Southeast Asia, entire compounds have been built around what's known as pig butchering, operations where victims are emotionally fattened up over time, then stripped of everything they own. Scammers no longer choose their targets at random. They work with data stolen from breaches, your LinkedIn profile, and detailed records of your social media behavior. No one introduces themselves as a prince anymore. That role has been replaced by AI-generated fake videos and cloned human voices. In 2024, an employee in Hong Kong transferred $25 million after attending a video call where he believed he was speaking to the entire board of directors. In reality, every single person on that call was a digital puppet created using live deepfake technology. The human ear can no longer reliably distinguish artificial voices from real ones. The system's final missing piece, trust, has now been completed by the cloning of authority itself. This is no longer just a crime. It's an industry built on human weakness. Today, the light is brighter than ever, but it's aimed at the same old instincts. Uncertainty presses from one side, economic pressure from the other. And somewhere in between, we're still searching for an easier way out. A trick, a shortcut, a miracle. The brutal truth is this: humans don't choose reason, they choose hope. Scammers don't exploit ignorance, they exploit desire, ego, loneliness. That's why these messages have survived for over 2 centuries, and that's why they'll survive us. Because technology can rewrite the world, but it will never erase the human urge to escape through the shortest path.